We saw a hell of a lot of Mirror play. I think Mirror had, it was almost 100% pick rate. I can't recall a round where Mirror wasn't present, as was Lion. Lion, as ever, 100% pick rate. So for them to actually remove him, it shows that they're comfortable in their own skin playing without him, and that, you know, taking him out of the game is more important to, I think it was Edenity that removed Lion, but taking him out of the game was more important than having him in the game. So despite the fact that they're going to be watching the same match, they're going to be worlds apart due to operators alone.
Absolutely. So we are looking at getting started very shortly. Bands, interesting maps, definitely be excited about.
Without a doubt. So moving into the round now, I believe. Yes, we are.
Yep. So quite surprisingly, we are going to curse a laundry hole straight off. We have got Edenity on defense first of all. Forze moving in on their attack phase. So just for any of you who've tuned in since the first match of tonight, if you've missed it, we are playing by the new rules, so we will have 5 attacks followed by 5 defense, and Forze will be getting their attacks first.
So it can be quite pivotal that to see who gets to defend first. Obviously, in the current meta, I believe that defending has a slight disadvantage. However, Lion has been removed, so there should be no real excuses. We're seeing a very similar lineup as what we saw last game. But with the Vigil play, I can't wait for the Vigil play. I was
just about to come in and say the same thing, X. I was like, actually, we've got Vigil this time, so maybe
we got him.
There's Roman. He's up there already. We're going to see a top floor hold as well as the objective. So I'm really interested to see what Kazeka can do on Vigil.
Without a doubt. So Edenity moving into their first defensive round. And we're seeing a split spawn from Forze. We've got a couple of guys over at Street, and we've got a couple over at Junkyard. IQ as well. Don't believe we've seen an IQ pick. So I love this because it's a nice variety of players, but I mean, the IQ counters the Vigil perfectly, and you can see there that IQ's already putting a few shots into the double window to sort of alert Vigil to her presence, maybe. Vigil maybe not be thinking that it is IQ at this stage, but IQ Scanner can certainly pick Vigil up, and it is a very effective way of clearing him out.
Well, this is what we've said, you know, this is exactly demonstrating what we've said about these operators, how it really changes up the meta, even from game to game. So now, all of a sudden, we've just seen Oregon played. We're now seeing a completely different way of holding it. We've got Vigil upstairs. He's wasted a minute already. We get the first kill coming in from Joystick onto Mocking. So that takes Ying off the board now. That could be huge in terms of getting that plant down. But as I was saying, we've got Vigil up there. He's wasted a minute already where they haven't been able to move in. Kazeka gets the first kill onto Vitaline as Vigil. Joystick getting his second kill onto Jackie. Now that's Forze's main frag are gone. So let's see how this develops. It's now 4v2 as Intic manages to pick a kill up and get that Vigil off the board. So is that going to allow Forze just to start moving a little bit more freely without Vigil on the board?
Bit of a ring around the roses there, and Namir getting a kill onto Int. Just playing his life there nice and slowly, but it looks like he's going to get snuck up on by Ryzen, and Ryzen gets the kill. So we're going to see this now move very quickly into a 1 versus 3 in favour of Edenity. However, Thermite has got the diffuser in hand, although he has got a lot to do in terms of taking over some map control.
At 1v3, he just needs to start locating. Just watching for any footfall. They need to start getting him into 1v1s now, and that's doing. So he's got the kill onto Joystick there. So that takes Bandit off the board. We've got Smoke and Castle left. Castle looks like he's falling back onto site now. And this is going very well. But then again, Identity just doing what they need to do. Playing as a pair now, they need to not be separated into those 1v1s.
No, without a doubt, they need to definitely need to buddy up at this stage. So we've got Razor. He's going to be pressuring the laundry stairs. Castle's going to be castling off just to make sure that there's going to be no rotation. However, it looks like Razor is pretty convinced and looks like he might be trying to get a cheeky plant down here, but Smoke could deny it. But this is where the mirror play comes in. If you've got the mirror, you're going to be able to see that, and you're going to be able to throw your toxic bays appropriately. Moving into the last 15 seconds.
Right now, very interesting to see if they actually know that they're there. But, oh, Razor gets the second. Could he get the 1v3 clutch? He's only got one left to kill on. Moves in, gets shot. That's brilliant. That's 1v3 from Thermite. He's upstairs with the diffuser. He fakes the plant and then just moves in and gets the kill, knowing exactly where Shepard was. That is the best play we have seen tonight, without a doubt so far. What a clutch.
Without a doubt. Razor clutching up there just shows that anything is possible. Picking up a 4K on that round. Like I said, started upstairs, diffuser in hand, had basically all the maps are clear. I think Castle was still in meeting at that stage. There was certainly 2 guys still on site, but broke it down into 1 versus 1s, and that's the key thing about being outnumbered and in any sort of clutch situation. If you break it down into 1v1s and you manage to separate the defenders so they're not able to get the trade, you stand yourself in much better stead for picking up the win.
That is genuinely, I don't want to overdo that play, but from Razor, team captain, comes in, takes the game by the scruff of the neck there, even in the first round, and he did everything right. He broke that up into 1v1s as much as he could. I think he got a little bit lucky when the Castle came in and didn't manage to get the shots on his feet, but again, he reacted very well. He knew then where he was being attacked from. He reacted to it, he got the kill, and that was really special. That was very well played from Razor.
So we are going to see yet another laundry hold.
Yeah, choosing to go straight back down there. They're going to try it again. They obviously felt like it's interesting that they lose that, which is what we sort of almost predicted, saying that without that mirror, laundry becomes a much less viable site. As you said, he was down there. He could even potentially have got a plant down if they didn't know he was there. And just not having that mirror there just makes it very difficult to be aware of that corner without exposing yourself.
Yeah, we're already seeing the lack of the mirror really playing against the defenders here, and interesting to see that they've not gone straight up to Kids Dorms to try and just mix it up. I really hope that we don't see him sort of banging the head against the wall on this one and, you know, really trying to force something that maybe isn't working. We're seeing pretty much the same push from Forze this time. Vitaline is there. He's going to be searching for that Vigil. You can see him on the scanner there. At least, I think, well, I'm not sure what the range is on that. I think it's 12 meters, but you can see him at 10 meters there, which is, you know, a considerable distance, especially on this sort of a map when you know you're going to be flushing them out of upstairs. Yeah,
it's getting you in at least as far as White Stairs. So if your Vigil's in nearly anywhere in Kids Dorms or main dorms, you're going to pick him up. But Karzeka again did exactly what he needed to last game, and last round he just got in there and he wasted about a minute and a half where you had 2 operators upstairs, and I think that's the right idea. You know, you just can't always account for somebody like Razor going off. So we've got 2 quick kills there. Shepard getting the kill onto Vitaline, but Razor coming in, getting the kill onto Shepard, trading it out. Jackie, Intic picking quick kills up as the fraggers onto Shockwave and Namia. So that leaves only 2, Bandit and Vigil on the board. Joystick getting 1 back onto Jackie. Karzeka moving back on the flank as the Vigil. It's all going on very quickly. That's Intic off the board, but the diffuser has gone down. So we've got Ying and Thermite, with Mocking taking out the Vigil. We've now got Ying and Thermite versus Bandit, and Joystick has it all to do, and Mocking just holds his position, waits for the Bandit to make a move, and picks up the kill.
Crazy. Talk about it all happening at once, but
I nearly lost my breath on that one. That was pretty difficult.
It was a really convincing sort of execution there from Forze. But I mean, you look at the placement of that plant right in front of the wall where the mirror would usually be played, and you just think,
never get away with that.
With a mirror playing that, you would never in a million years get away from it.
I'd be tempted to kill myself with through the soft wall to stop the plant and drop the diffuser there.
It's just ludicrous, and it just goes to no, without a doubt, it just goes to show that it goes to show 2 things really. It goes to show how much of an impact mirrors had on the overall game, you know, the game as a whole, and just how much impact a very simple operator ban can bring, and what it can actually do for you, in that you take away mirror and all of a sudden Edenity are struggling to actually get around on the board, so they're going to move up to Kids Dorms.
Yep, I think they've made the right decision. You've got to change it up. You can't, especially when you're missing an operator like. And that, you know, I would largely put down to, you know, probably part of the reason why they're losing that. Not to take anything away from Forza. They are, you know, playing very well on that attack, very clinical, moving through the map very quickly. But, yeah, you've got to change it up. You can't keep beating your head against the wall. And, again, that comes to, you know, that adaptation that we expect in Siege. And you have to learn and sometimes just say, you know, it's time to move on.
Yeah, without a doubt. Mocking picking up a Ying this round as well. First Ying play we're going to see this evening. Let's see if we can see some Candelas go off. Good to see from Forze that the diffuser's been planted very early on. I know it took quite a while for in the first game to see the diffuser be planted. It was almost a little bit like team deathmatch, but definitely seeing good potential for the diffuser to be planted and adding that extra pressure, you know, for the defending team when you've got it down.
Yeah, much more focus on the objective, and sometimes you've just got to play the objective. You know, don't forget that there is another way to win other than killing everybody. And if you can create a situation whereby there's 1 or 2 on site and you can take them out and get that plant down before the roamers can return, that's, you know, can be as effective, if not more effective, than going in, you know, sort of team deathmatch style, looking for all those kills. So Intic just spotting the Ash there. Sorry, not spotting the Ash. She is Ash spotting the Valkyrie cam there and taking it off. So denying some good intel there. Nemia just led up at the top of white stairs, waiting for Ash to jump in, but maybe doesn't know she's there. Intic slaying again, getting the kill onto Karzeka, taking the vigil off the board. So that could be a big one, but it might just alert the presence to Valkyrie, who comes out of the cams.
Into there, maybe using his ex-teammates' information against him, knowing he plays that Valkyrie cam and getting it off the board fairly quickly. It seemed to know like he knew where it was. But we've got Jackie there, who's going to be pushing into small dorms. He managed to get Joystick down. And we get 2 quick kills. Razor onto Joystick, Shockwave onto Int, and Razor onto Shockwave again. So it's a 3v2 now, so we're going to see this in favour of Forze.
It all went off very quickly there. They must have been grouped. Yep, Nemia picking up the kill onto Vital. Kill back onto Jackie. So we're now in a 1v1 situation. We've got Valk, Nemia, we've got Mocking as Ying, and in come the Candelas. But Nemia with a very, very nice Nitro kill. And I'd like to see that again. That was, it all happened very quickly. But yeah, that's a beautiful toss there with the Candela coming in. Absolutely perfect. Just what his team needed, and closes out the round for the first defensive win.
Brilliant play there by Nemia. I think that in any situation, in a situation there where you don't actually, Ying's got the advantage purely because of the sort of shock and awe she can cause with the Candelas and the smokes, but the diffuser was right at Valkyrie's feet, or right at Nemia's feet, sorry. So I think Ying was almost, not in an impossible position, but in certainly a very difficult position to try and clutch from. You see there, Razor putting up the numbers for his team, 7-1 in the 3rd round. That's some going.
Yeah, that first 3Ks obviously got him off to a good start, but then in 2 rounds since then, he's had another 4 kills. So I'm not sure if that was split 2v2 per each. I think he got 2 in the last round, so I think that's been split between the 2. But yeah, seeing another laundry attempt this time, so let's see if they can do any better. Still, obviously, the mirror, you know, remains banned for the entire map, so see if they can improve on the last hold at all.
Yeah, without a doubt. Razor playing the Thermite there and getting all those kills is always interesting to see. Thermite usually seen as more of a sort of, you know, more of a support player. You know, a bit more get your job done, get your drone and done, and then if you get a kill, it's a bonus. But he's just lapping the kills up. We're still going to see a Vigil play, despite how easily Forze have been flushing it out. But I mean, I don't really know what other operator you'd take. I think that they may have sacrificed the Mute this time in place of a Legion. Could be wrong on that, or maybe it was the Valkyrie, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, they've actually switched the operators around a little bit. If you remember, he got the final kill with the Nitro toss at the end there, but this time you've got Shockwave and you've got Nemia moving over onto the Legion. But yeah, I think Vigil is still a good viable option. Maybe Karzeka just needs to change up a little bit exactly how he's playing him. He played him the same, you know, for the first 2 rounds, so he's now looking to maybe get a bit more aggressive, and he's looking for those peaks, but it looks like he gets spotted and there's going to be shots going to him, so that leaves him now 50% health, and that was always a difficult challenge against an ACOG. I'm not sure that was the best decision from Vigil, and he gets finished off by Vitalin.
Vitalin has really got Karzeka's number there, picking him up, you know, picking him up again as the IQ, and Vitalin getting another kill onto Shockwave. So that's going to be the Valkyrie off the. So we're leading this into a 5v2. So once again, absolutely dominating on the laundry attack.
Yep, and it's again coming down to gunfights, as we've said. You know, how many of these kills? So you've got Intic picking up a kill there as well. So we've now got Bandit and Vigil all off the board. We've got Smoke and Legion remaining, and we are 5v2 in favour of Forze, and you would really expect on a difficult laundry hold without a mirror for this one to be going 3-1.
Yeah, Forze are really bringing the pace. I mean, I say we're only a minute and a half or a minute and 40 into the round now, but they seem to have taken full control over top floor, full control over, first floor, and now they're looking to pressure the objective. And they've got all the time in the world to play with, to drone, find out where these players are, make full use of the utility, get a plant down, create a pinch situation. You know, there really is unending amounts of things that they can do with all the time that they've got here. And you can see there that Vitalin is just going to be pushing the laundry stairs along with Razor. Razor having the diffuser. Vitalin manages to pick up another kill on Shepard. I think that's his third, or at least his third.
Yeah, I think that's a 4K. Intic definitely got. Intic definitely got one that round. But yeah, excellent 4K from. And it just shows there's not one man on the team that's doing the job. You've had the kills from Razor. We were saying he was 7 and 1. You've got now Intic on 4, Vitalin on 4, Mocking on 3. So yeah, really flying. Jackie, who you'd expect to see generally playing as a fragger, coming in with the aggressive ops like Hibana, etc., still to pick up a few more kills. But I think, to be honest, having watched a couple of these rounds, that's maybe just about not time to get the kills. They're coming in so quickly. But yeah, Edenity doing very well on the kills, not like short of kills, but they just seem to be getting themselves early round into maybe those 5v3 situations where it then becomes difficult and it, maybe ends up as a 3v2, 3v1.
Yeah, without a doubt. Forze just bringing a pace that it doesn't seem like Edenity can keep up with at the moment. So we're going to see them try and defend upstairs yet again in kids' room and dorm. We've opted for a dock this time on Shockwave, which isn't something that we've seen just yet, but ACOG can be really handy upstairs. There are some quite long lines of sight that you can take advantage of.
5 seconds left.
And it looks like we're about to get some outside Valkyrie cameras, which are my favourite.
Yeah, that's what we like to see on Oregon. Ooh, that was a nasty little. So yeah, I think, maybe being more used as where they're coming from there rather than looking for the spot for potential runouts. But I'm not sure exactly what range of sight you'd get from that camp.
It's one that everyone can throw, though. That's the most important thing. Vitalin continuing his pace from the previous round, picking up a kill onto Naemir. Straight away, that's the Valkyrie off the board. Maybe getting caught just trying to throw an outside cam. Didn't even catch where that was from, really, but that's going to lead him into a man advantage very early on in this round.
It'd be interesting to know if Valkyrie had actually managed to... Even, beyond death can still be extremely useful. She can then focus on getting onto her own cams and making those call-outs for the team. But currently in a 5v4 in favour of Forze, and it looks like they've got... they're looking to get control of sort of downstairs, but playing largely from the outside at this point. You've got Ash and IQ playing towards double window and on roof, and the roamers, we've got a couple that have now moved into Master as well. Shockwave picking up the kill onto Intic, Joystick picking up the kill onto Jackie, so that suddenly leaves us in a 4v3, and we have got Forze in Master and Armory and pushing from double window, so it leaves those roamers downstairs to start hassling, maybe come up Armory stairs and start picking up the kills from behind.
Yeah, from an early advantage, they seem to have let it slip just a little bit, losing the man count there. But we've still got a little bit of time left to play with. As I've said, they're playing so quickly that they do leave themselves quite a lot of time for the end of the round. Thermite there appearing to avoid the bandit charge. I think he just got caught with it. And they've now managed to open up from Master into small domes. But Karazaki getting the kill there onto Vitalin.
Yep, so that leaves us in a 2v4, and it now means that both are pushing from Master, so if the defenders are aware of that, it's that flank rotation. Mocking getting a very nice vertical kill onto Joystick, though, so that's some of the rotation cut off. He's not going to be able to move back for the flank, but it's definitely time they need to start. It's 46 seconds. They've still got time. Looks like they're trying to bait those C4s. Karzeka gets the kill onto Razor, which leaves Ying Mocking on his own. The wall is open, but is he going to be able to do anything without the diffuser? Surely now time for Edenity to just hold the angles, which is what they did, waited for Mocking to appear, and Shepard gets that final kill to bring us to 3-2.
Edenity there managing to pick up the pieces and keep composure in those final seconds. A Thermite and a Ying certainly isn't a bad combination to be left with from Forze. but obviously they weren't quite able to do it. They got the smoke down, but Edenity managed to get the kill through the smoke. So we're going to be moving now onto the defensive rounds for Forze, and they came out of the attacking rounds fairly dominantly. So let's see what they can do on defense. I think that to come out of the attacking rounds quite, with a round up without players like Lion in the mix, does show a level of sort of assertiveness. They've obviously very confident in what they're about to do. Oh, we've got a toxic bandit there running the nitro cell, not the barbed.
I think, yeah, since you see that a little bit more often, barbs from 3 down to 2, so I think the I mean, Finker doesn't really get used, but Finker potentially speeding people up through there. It just has a little bit less value, but there's plenty of other operators that bring the barb as well, so sometimes good to go after those kills.
Going to go pretty heavy on the C4 though. I imagine that Inter's got a C4 as well there on Pulse.
5 seconds left.
First Pulse player we're going to be seeing, and he's going to be playing downstairs, which is something that we were looking for last game, but we didn't quite get to see. So we're going to be seeing now Shockwave on Sledge. Sledge, another operator that we've not seen. So this is the great thing about banning a couple of operators. You really do get to see the full variety and, what the game has to offer.
Like I said, it's almost, not completely, but it's a different meta every game, potentially.
Yeah, I really enjoy this.
And you have to adapt very, very quickly. So, Joystick picking up an early kill onto Intic now. The board, and that was bad timing there. Karzeka getting the kill onto Mocking. He was very unlucky with that timing. Joystick picking the 3rd kill onto Vitalin, so Edenity doing very, very well here, starting to get some momentum now that they're on attack. Maybe that's just what they needed.
Edenity there making very short work of 3 players, and now they can sort of take their time, get on the drones, and really work out a plan as to how they're going to do this. But a nice headshot from Namir onto Razor. That's the smoke off the board. That was a really nice angle, especially for a reflex side, that kind of a range.
I don't even know how he saw that. That was something else.
It's very easy when you've got the red outline from the spectator view, but I tell you, when you're in the game and you see that, you see that subtle color change, that's something else. And picking up the final kill. Shockwave picking up the final kill onto Jackie out of Attic. Attackers winning the round inside a minute and a half there, I'd say. Yeah, so again, the contrast to the last game, this is really quick pace, and it's there's quite a lot going on at one time. And I think if we just saw a flash of the scoreboard there, that I think Razor may be struggling for kills.
I think he's not. He's
been on 7 for a while. Yeah, Razor there
a little bit. No kills since then. So maybe time to if. You don't know, sometimes he just gets one, it kicks him on a little bit, and then he starts getting more and more, but it'll be interesting to see what he does. He's gone on the smoke this time. I think he usually does play smoke, so he should be comfortable with that up. But yeah, very interesting to see that it seems to be more the defence maybe struggling a little bit at this point.
Yeah, defence definitely struggling for both sides. But I think I'd like to see Force get around on the board now, especially with choosing the same bomb site back to back. It shows that they've obviously got something that they feel like they can do a little bit differently or a little bit better. But Edenity going pretty heavy disruption there, Zafir and Ying.
Yep, so let's see where the attack comes from early on. Now they clear the bottom as if last time on them quite dearly, because they ended up with 2 left in Master, and it was just then up for the rotation and to hold angle, just to really wait the clock out and force them to push into those lines of sight. So I'd like to see them pay a little bit more attention to that bottom floor roam this time. If they can get down there, and I'd expect Forze might be playing with 2 down there potentially. If they can get down and get those guys off the board early on, then it might just help them push this site a little better than they did last time.
That's a really sneaky angle there through both the windows on Big Tower there, looking down onto Kitchen. I think it was Intic that played that angle last time, maybe as the Vigil.
Yeah,
it's a really nice, very well protected, and with an ACOG definitely able to see that far. So a little bit of a slower round in comparison. We're a whole minute in now, and the attackers are still pretty much on repel. We've got yeah, I think pretty much everyone's on repel. We get the first kill there from Joystick onto Vitalin, so that's going to be the bandit off the board.
Yeah, looking like they're pushing. They're wanting to push might be just taking account, like I mentioned, those roamers, try and get into hole and then work your way up armory, or potentially go right underneath site and split up and pinch from white stairs, double window and armory. But let's see if that's what they're aiming for. It looks like Shockwave's going to start playing from that single window from roof and just see if he can get an angle. And we've got Shepherd as Sophia, but Razor knows he's out there. They come together and Razor gets the kill and sees the diffuser go down. So that's big. That diffuser outside double window could be very, very difficult to collect.
Especially with smoke and Legion. If you get a Legion goo mine onto that, you're going to really gain an advantage.
Yeah, and we're getting down towards a minute, so Smoke could even, you know, start considering just smoking that diffuser out for, you know, a good portion of what's left of the round now.
I think that, yeah, it looks like Namir's is going to try and pick that up now with Sledge causing a bit of grenade disruption onto the spot. Throws a Candela in and safely, just with his skin of his teeth, manages to collect the diffuser. But
The
now
old
what?
Indiana Jones slide, I think that was, to get the diffuser there as the curtain was coming down. But Karzeka just picking up the headshot onto Mocking, and then Razor trading back out, getting joysticks. So we're in a 3v3. Karzeka moves in for a kill onto Jackie, and once again these kills are coming in thick and fast. Karzeka getting another onto Razor, and that leaves us in a 3v1 with Vigil. Intic with it all to do.
So we're going to be looking to get the diffuser down right about now, and Karzeka is playing in that lead down spot, which is also horrible to challenge. But Intic manages to pick up the first kill. Can he do this? He's managed to break down the first 1v1, so Karzeka not in a bad position there, but not in the best one, because he did leave himself unable to be traded out. However, the diffuser is down, is ticking.
He's surely got Razor in his ear, giving him that advice of, oh, how he managed taking him to 1v1s, but Namia, very, very good. Head click quite on the, sorry, just in front of it, and manages to pick up that final kill. So very good play from Namia there, just to close things out.
So all pretty much equal. Well, obviously advantage to Edenity, but you know, we're seeing a fairly back and forth game like we did last time, and nice equal spread of kills across the board. You know, not really, well, I don't know. It's a good play. There's a lot of good plays. Everyone's got enough kills.
Edenity showing, you know, a lot of fortitude here. They were down, they back. They've won 3 rounds in a row. They're now 4-3. That's got to give them a good mental standing. You know, that starts to get in the other team's head. It's now, can you stop the rot? So, but we are back on the difficult Laundry site with no mirror. So let's see what Forze can do down in Laundry this time.
Nice to see that Edenity are on top on their map as well. Obviously, they brought Oregon to the table, so they are able, you know, they are doing the best to try and win this. Obviously, you win your own pick, you're making things a hell of a lot easier for yourself. But as we've said, Oregon is a very 50-50 map. Jackie there reinforcing those 2 panels either side of meeting room double door, and I'm gonna assume that he's gonna castle meeting room double door as well, which. Oh, maybe it looks like he's not going to. Maybe he's waiting for some last-minute rotations, but he is going to castle it. So that's going to make the defenders feel, the attackers feel very safe in that sort of lobby area outside classroom.
Yep, you've got to be ready to have another rotation option. Like you said, they move in there, they can easily sort of watch the flank through classroom, but if you've got somebody upstairs, which they have, they've played Bandit up there with Vitalin on Bandit, so if he doesn't get drawn out, that's going to leave the potential then for them to flank down Armory stairs maybe and start picking up a couple of kills if the attackers start operating in main lobby.
Shockwave wasting no time as Sledge getting attic open and getting into Watchtower, establishing some early control. It seems like he maybe knows that Mute's playing down there, and Intic and throws a frag grenade, manages to take about 25 health. He's going to use another one, but it doesn't look like it's going to be to any avail. So the attackers have now managed to take control over attic, and that's going to really make it uncomfortable downstairs in meeting room, especially with how heavily castled it is. And we're going to see smokes at 2 minutes, which is pretty unprecedented.
Yeah, they've expended a lot of utility in meeting. Picking the kills up and clear that out and taking. Razor getting one straight up there though, getting joystick as the Ash, and we've also got Jackie down, just managing to crawl through that hatch to get picked up.
But we're going to see Shockwave there making the push, doesn't manage to use all the SMG 11 ammo, or doesn't have enough ammo, sorry, to use, and manages to get traded out after he gets a kill. So we're into a 4 versus 3. in favour of Forze. So it's looking very good for the defending team at this stage. I think that Shockwave, maybe they're just chasing the kill a little bit too much. Obviously, the defenders were well equipped to deal with that downstairs. Able to trade each other out because they had a bit more of a heavy man presence downstairs. We're still left with Karzeka up in the attic, sort of, having to rotate down quickly.
Interestingly, we haven't actually seen the main lobby hatch open whilst Razor gets a kill on me while I'm talking. We haven't seen the main lobby hatch open. Something pushing from that side that we've seen successful so far between these two teams. So, interesting to see the thought process as to why they push in from construction. But Karzeka gets the kill onto Razor, bringing us to 3v2. They're certainly not going down without a fight. Karzeka gets another one, 2v2. And Intik there moving in on the flank, though, to pick up Karzeka, and gets the final one onto Shepherd, which is a defender win. So that brings us to 4-all, and very well flanked from Intik there.
It just goes to show that you can't ignore the Roamers playing in meeting room. Although we said that the reinforcements and the castle makes you feel very safe in lobby, if the attackers aren't going to push lobby, it's just going to 100% work in the defenders' hands. And I think that's what we saw there. We saw the defenders were very comfortable in meeting room, despite the fact that the attackers came and opened up all of attic and managed to flush a couple out. Just by staying alive in meeting room and not actually chasing the kills down the stairs with the open drop hatches, managing to clutch the round out there for his team.
Yeah, excellent game so far. Just as close as we expected, really. You've got two good teams here, both both played well in qualifiers, and they're coming together and giving the show that everybody wants to see.
So we're going to see another upstairs hold now. And again, good back and forth game. 4-all on the board. Going for a Dockerby this time. Not sure if we've seen a Dockerby yet, but we've got a little bit of disruption again in Dockerby and a Ying, but still seeing the Sledge. The Sledge has been a really popular player, and I think Shockwave has done very well with him so far.
Yep, so interesting as always to see what Intik manages to do. Intik goes picking up those 5 round, so he's going to be off on the roam again, and that was what he did last time, was just come in late there on the flank and pick up those last 2 kills. From there, I'm guessing Intik's rear stage. Yep, that's correct. So yeah, interesting to see if he can stop that sort of meeting hole rear stage push, which it would appear with 3 spawning that side, we are going to see.
Yeah, Edenity seems to be pushing the back. It seems to be very keen to take control over sort of tower.
Yeah, tower meeting hole. They're very keen to get in there and get control of that. But I suppose from there you can take long, and then you can work your way through stairs quite easily, moving all the way through to office. And then they've gone Joystick with a really good headshot onto him there. He was just waiting for him to reappear, and that's one of the big fraggers and the vigil off the board. So that could be very important.
Yeah, quite an early loss there as well. Intik there not really giving his team all too much in terms of utility or anything like that, so going to be a little bit of an unfortunate one. Shepherd's going to be opening up the double window, sorry, and getting a drone in there just to see what is going on, who's on site. Vitalin picking up a kill onto Joysticks. That is going to be Ash off the board. Vitalin there playing the dock, and getting a little bit of hassle with some grenades, no doubt from Sledge.
Yep, decides to just bail out there, dropping the hatch into kitchen, but as a 1-speed operator, that's a... Depending what happens in the... Shepherd getting a really good kill through that soft surface, the one to Razor, as the Dockerby. So that's going to bring us into a 4v3 and time for Doc to start moving back. But Karzeka could probably hear him moving from about a mile off. I'd have thought he probably heard him from Chalet.
So it looks like Mocking is going to be one of the last alive along with Jackie. And R4's going to be able to do this. They've got some operators to do it. A smoke would be ideal, but they've got a mute and a legion, so they've still got a little bit of disruption in the legion and a little bit of information, and able to slow the attackers push down a little bit. But Edenity have got all the time in the world here. They've got a minute on the clock, and Candelas are going to start coming in.
Yeah, they've obviously decided it's definitely time to start. Nemi moves out. Oh, but Jackie gets the... So, but then he's down, but Mocking comes in and kills Karzeka, so we're on 2. But Karzeka he was already dead, but got the kill because he downed him, as Shockwave comes in and finishes the round.
Ooh, black ice on the SMG-11.
Very
Jealous.
nice. So that brings us to 5v4, and we will move into match point. But if Forze can win this round on the defense, that will take us to our first OT of the night. But there's a long way. There's a very long 3 minutes 45 to go before we get to that stage.
Yeah, Edenity are going to want to be picking it up on their map. Karzeka there, 12 kills. Joystick 8, Namia 6. They're all providing pretty decent numbers and, a very close game, especially in terms of kills. Laundry Room has been chosen for the defense. It's worth mentioning we've not seen anything else, but you wouldn't really expect to see anything other than Laundry or Kids.
No. Without a mirror, I'll be honest, I wouldn't personally want to try and defend Laundry to keep me in the game. We've seen some very good on it so far, but that being said, one of those was Razor's early one, which you wouldn't necessarily have expected. That sort of came out of nowhere and really fired us up and kicked us off into what has been an amazing map so far. But
yeah, it's worth remembering they did win the last defense of this. I think Force won the last defense of Laundry, I'm sure.
5 seconds to go.
With Intic playing late in meeting room, managed to get the kill from the hatches. So they have been able to win it without the without the mirror. But without the mirror, I'm not too sure why the attackers just aren't heavily pushing the lobby.
Push lobby.
Yeah.
Especially if they're castling off meeting. Just push lobby, open hatch. They're working from rear stage again. And, I'm sure there's... But I suppose, it does stop them flooding the objective with people returning, as we've seen in the previous match on Oregon. But, yeah, I think without mirror down there, just flood lobby, push down for the plant from that side. They can't see that it's coming in. They have to expose themselves. And if you've got people watching the angles, you're going to pick up kills.
It's a tricky one, obviously. They've got to play their own game, and it looks like they may be going C4 toss there, but doesn't quite manage to hit. That's unfortunate for them. Oh, in fact, he blew it up late. I thought he'd already blown it, but yeah, it still doesn't manage to hit.
I'd be interested to see if that might have actually stood right next to that soft wall, just to the corner of it. So that C4 was right in the corner. So it'd have been interesting to see if it would have taken some health. But Joystick moves in with the challenge, takes out Intic. So that's the mute down in Meeting Hall. And that starts the push moving for the attackers.
So Castle's there going to opt to open up his castle, castling off the double door into lobby area, and sort of be able to play those stairs and maybe get a second rotation back into the objective, as he knows that they're fast losing control of Meeting, I'd say.
I think, yeah, it's time to maybe call it a day there, move back to that and start looking at potentially a turtle defense in those angles. But with the hatches open, that starts getting very, very difficult. Forze not in the best position here, I don't think. Smoke's going out with still 1:10 left on the round. And it's time for Edenity to start really sort of baring the teeth and taking advantage of this position they've got themselves into.
Yeah, you're going to want to see a little bit of drone work now. You can see Shepard there in his drone trying to gather a bit of information just to try and, pinpoint these final defenders. We've got some smoke and Candelas coming down, so no doubt we're going to see a drop now from Namir. Joystick manages to pick up kill onto Jackie, but Vitalin manages to pick up kill onto Namir as he drops. That's going to be the Ying off the board. 3 versus 4 in favour of Edenity.
Oh, but Shepard and Shockwave picking up kills together very quick. So Vitalin gets 1. Oh, I thought Vitalin gets 2. Can he do it? He's now in a 1v2 situation. The diffuser has gone down, and so it's time for Vitalin to retake. Time for Edenity to just buddy up and try. But Vitalin gets the last one, and Karzeka comes out. He was so close then. He got the 3K. He must be feeling that one. That was a real shame. I honestly thought he was going to do it for a second then. But Karzeka just waited patiently, waited to see where he was, stepped out, got the kill, and secures the win on the first map of Oregon for Edenity.
11 kills apiece there for Karzeka. And was it Namir? Oh, Joystick.
Yeah, Razor and Vitalin on 11.
Sorry, Razor and
Joystick and Karzeka on 13 and 10, so 22 and 22 kills between two on the other side. So very, very even in terms of kills there.
Feels like a high kill game between the 4 of them, that.
Alrighty, Ace and Troika, thank you so much for the first map of this best of 3 matchup. We will head into map number 2 really, really soon, but let's just talk about this map number 1 real quick, Troika. Definitely, I was kind of expecting Forze to take this map home because they were really, really strong going into that map, I had a feeling. What would you say?
I think they started very strong. I think they started with a lot of aggression, and they started. The rounds were very quick in the beginning. They were very snappy, attacking. They wasted absolutely no time getting into the objective and sort of attaining quite a dominance straight away, and going into almost not the halfway point, but going into their defending streak, if you will, at 3-2. It did look like it was sort of stacked in their favor, but Edenity managing to pick it up on their map, which is something that you would expect, and obviously it's good to see as well that they're picking it up on their map.
Looking into map 2, which will be Coastline, we will have the operator bans. Just right now it will be Lion, Blitz, interestingly Echo, and the Pulse ban. So Echo, that's pretty interesting to see an Echo ban on Coastline.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Comes from Edenity.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, Echo actually not being seen all evening. So certainly an interesting one to be banned because not actually played at all. But obviously there's a reason for it. Maybe there's a little bit of this insider information that we're talking on between, was it Edenity that banned Echo?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so maybe there's a little bit of insider information from Namir. He maybe knows that, someone in his old team Forze really enjoys playing Echo or has got a specific plan or strategy. Obviously, Echo can be very useful on disrupting a service room, a service store plant down in Kitchen. Echo can be really, crucial in that. So be interesting to see if we see something like that coming out. Again, Pulse, we've seen him banned before, pretty standard, I'd say, for Coastline. And I'm just glad that Lion and Blitz remain out, personally.
Actually, you talking about that Echo ban and Namia might having some information since he's been a player of Force before, especially in the qualifiers of this exact same league. They played a lot of Coastline, and Force, to be honest, really, really strong on Coastline. What we've seen in the qualifiers, of course, Namea was being an addition for Force. However, they were really, really strong on Coastline. I'm not quite sure about Edenity. I'm not really remembering what their Coastline plays were necessarily. However, could be definitely true that the Echo ban is like an insider that is really, really coming in handy for Edenity now on this map number 2. Obviously, with yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, no, I do seem to recall Force being rather strong on Coastline, and personally, I'd really like to see Oregon played. So I wouldn't be too, I wouldn't be too upset if Force managed to bring this back to a 1-1 map count, and then we go and real throw down on Oregon and see what happens on there.
Right, so we just have to wait real quick for map number 2 of Coastline to start. And looks like we have Ace back on the board. Welcome back, Ace.
Thank you very much. I am back with you. We'll see if that's any improvement.
Ace, what did you think of that map?
Oh, I thought it was brilliant. That was really entertaining, really, really entertaining. The way it just sort of went backwards and forwards as well. We had Forza come out really strong, got the first couple of rounds. 1v3 clutch from Razor was just still the highlight of that for me, to be honest. It really was. You don't see those every game. Really, really good. But then, all credit goes to Edenity. They didn't get fazed by that. And I think maybe that's a little bit of that Pro League experience from Shockwave Shepherd joystick coming through. They're not going to be fazed by, they're not going to be fazed by losing a couple of rounds. And they fought back and they got a good win 6-4. It was a tight game and it could have been anybody's, to be fair.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm really glad that they managed to bring it home on their own map. But as Netflix alluded to, Forze are very strong on Coastline, so we could be looking at a map 3 and Consulate.
Definitely be interested in this Coastline now. This is the map to watch out for in this matchup, I think. Both teams definitely being strong on that map from what we've seen so far. Obviously, Edenity now in the mental advantage of having won map number 1 already. So Coastline's definitely the map for Force to come up now. So it's definitely interesting with what they come up, especially with Nemea being on the other team, as we've mentioned many times now. He has a lot of information, especially because Coastline is a strong map for them. However, as I say that, we move into map number 2 of this matchup, which will be Coastline, still between Forze and Edenity. Edenity up 1-0. Ace Tracker, take it away.
Thank you very much, Netflix. Really appreciate that. Okie dokie, so moving into it now, we're going to see Force on attack. I'm going to see Edenity on defense, taking us to Blue Bar and Sunrise. And we're going to be seeing a mirror play straight off the bat, which is obviously something that was banned for Oregon. So Shockwave there, really keen to get straight on mirror and show us what he can do. Also got the vigil of Karzeka, as ever.
So yeah, we've already seen the blue bar hold a couple of times tonight, so interesting to see it again. It's always nice to see how different teams do things differently, you know, how they see things differently and the different lines that they're going to open up. So Mirror early on, Shockwave just opening up that entire back wall there. Into courtyard, that's, you know, that's really opening things up to that far side.
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's see what they managed to pull here. So we've got a Docby, a Glass, Ash, and we've got a Book, so we're going to be expecting some vertical play. It doesn't look like Edenity are putting too much utility in upstairs, but Nemea, they're just getting spotted on the drone as he's trying to throw a sneaky vault cam, but it's not going to be so sneaky now, and probably going to get found. He managed to take out the drone in the process. So going to see a bit of vertical play here with the Book, which is always really good to see. There's not as much vertical play on Laundry, obviously. Obviously, you've got Meeting Room and stuff like that, but the actual Laundry itself, I think Coastline really lends itself to it.
Yeah, I think only the second time that we've seen Glaz tonight. I've seen Intik play Glaz before, and he's very proficient. So interesting to see if he can pick up some kills there. He's just outside of Office at the minute. He's going to be looking to push in potentially through either through Office or through Aquarium, depending what they want him to achieve. Whether he's going to clear those roamers upstairs or move into sight.
Razor there, steadfast on the Thermite. And we've got Karzeka. He's going to be wasting a little bit of time in VIP. Nemea taking out his second drone of the game. So, a little bit of a slower start this time, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, definitely more considered than I think we saw on Oregon. Both teams on Oregon quite aggressive, although we've got Razor already into Office. They've secured Office as a safe space, and he's going to be opening that wall up into sight, so that's potentially going to open up an angle for Plants. But we've got Mirror, Shockwave still looking to defend from the double mirrors there, so it will be difficult as it stands to take advantage of that. But if those mirrors drop or Mirror gets killed, then that could definitely change things.
I think we could end up seeing a little bit more Twitch play, you know, because we are going to see a few more mirrors here on Coastal. I think that Shockwave's there has got a lot of options with the way that he set those two mirrors up in terms of where he can peek. Looks like we're going to have our first engagement there, and Nemea picks up the headshot onto Mocking. Absolutely snaps onto his head. That was a great kill. Doesn't lose too much health in the process. Karzeka's going to be challenging someone on the roof, which is never a great angle to challenge. And Jackie picks up the kill onto Joystick, and Vitaly manages to pick up that kill onto Karzeka. So that's going to lead us to 4 versus 3.
Yep, 4 versus 3 in favour of the attackers. I think they're starting to think about maybe getting a plant down there. But yeah, that just to come back briefly to that headshot from Nemea, that was a flick and a half. I honestly thought he was going to lose it. But there we go. Vitaly getting the kill onto Shepard. The diffuser has gone down. Razor's prioritised that. Got in as the Thermite and got that down. He's just going to stay behind Blue Bar and hold a tight angle now. And Valk and Mirror have got this all to do. Mirror's very close to sight, but knows that she's being really held down. But Nemea gets a good kill onto Jackie, so that leaves us 3v2. Uses his Nitro to give him the dropping option into Office, but there we go. Intik just waiting for it. Comes in. Razor gets the kill onto Mirror. Very good finish. Intik and Razor both predicting very well what the opposition were going to do, just to hold that out at the end there.
That was really unfortunate. I think it was Shockwave there on the Mirror, just threw his C4 toward Thermite as he was planning. Glaz managed to shoot it mid-air. If that C4 gets through, or if Glaz misses that shot with his obviously semi-automatic single-shot weapon, that could have been very different. But yeah, Forze managing there to take the first round fairly convincingly.
plays from Intic on that one. Plays.
Absolute plays. There's no problem with Glaz's hit alignment there. But you
No,
get
hit alignment was, well, I don't know. I didn't see the crosshair. Maybe he was a couple of mil away from it. I don't know. But
maybe
I
he was
doubt
a mile away. So we're going to see a kitchen hold now.
I really like kitchen as a site. I always enjoy it. With no mirror here, so that's going to be... I mean, to say that mirror's still available, I might have expected to see mirror on this site. You know, I like to see the mirror next to that bomb, just inside of service. But I suppose you are very open to getting in above you in VIP and opening that up. So I suppose it's, you know, is there enough value in it really? But I do like to see it.
Yeah, I think these guys may be working on the assumption that may lose upstairs control, and they don't really want to open that, you know, like the mirror be opened so easily. They are going to put a little bit of utility and invest a little bit of time upstairs. Looks like we've got Jaeger and Vigil playing up there. Oh no, sorry, Jaeger's downstairs. Looks like we've got at least got Vigil playing up there. And once Bandit's got his batteries down, then maybe we'll see him up there as well.
Yep, so we've got a bit of a roam presence there from Jaeger, not too far away from site, but looking to hold things down in Sunrise. We've got 2 on site, and then we've got Namir just hiding over there as Bandit, probably just trying to bide his time, pass out that first minute before he starts thinking about potentially looking at the flank. And we've got Kazeka holding down. Oh, he misses the shot there. I think he just pulled across as Vitalin stepped in front of him, and that is Vigil out of VIP. So things could definitely get dangerous from here if Buck can get in there, but it looks like Namir's just moving up now to try and fill in that gap and start holding down VIP possibly, but he's just very aware now of the people around him and he has to dip out.
Namir missing that grenade from Mocking by a couple of seconds there, quite fortunately really. So we've got, moving into the last minute, we've got, sorry, the last 2 minutes, we're going to be 5 versus 4. A little bit of drone work going on now from Razor. He's going to no doubt spot Joystick downstairs in Sunrise and force him to rotate somewhat. Although where he's going to rotate to,
yeah, I think
he's seem fairly pinned. So I'm not
like quite a broken attack almost. They're attacking from a lot of different sides, and that makes it very, very difficult for the roamers because, as you say, those rotations get cut off very quickly. Especially Vitalin getting the kill onto Shockwave when you've got Buck upstairs like that, just opening up those angles. So now nobody can leave Sunrise without Buck getting an angle on them potentially. So very, very difficult now for Edenity.
Into there, searching for Jaeger through the smoke. Doesn't manage to see him. Jaeger's actually playing in pool entrance and getting a little bit distracted there maybe, but does manage to pick up the kill on Twin Ticks. That's Joystick picking up the kill there. So that brings it down into a 4 versus 3. And is he going to pick the kill up onto Razor? Yes, he does, and he managed to get the diffuser down. He's going to want to jump back inside though, save himself getting spotted, but he does know the bomb is down.
Joystick on Jaeger with about 30 health now. He knows where the diffuser is, and all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, this round's turned to a 3v3, and Edenity in a very strong position. Shots coming in onto the Ash as well, so that's Vitaline well below half health, so things looking a little difficult for Forze from here when they were in a very strong position. Maybe just a little bit of a failure to capitalise there, but very good play from Joystick, who is finally taken out by Jackie, moving in as the Dockerby. Forze now going to have to start moving quickly.
So Jackie's picked up the bomb in amongst all that, but he is going to get challenged as he goes to plant. Going to get challenged there by Namir with the C4 coming out from the Bandit, managing to pick up a 2K.
Yeah, very unfortunate on the ADS there, I think. As you saw, he was sort of creeping into the room and he had his ADS up and then he just dropped it as I think it was Jaeger peeked his head round, or it might have been Bandit, and just missed the kill. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but 1-1 so far, a win for the attackers and a win for the defenders. So Forze will continue attacking, and obviously they're going to be looking to claim as many rounds as they can here. And Edenity going back to Blue Bar.
Let's get it. Similar operator lineup, if same maybe, from Edenity defending downstairs. Seeing a lot of glass, which is good. I imagine that they're going to try and do very similar and open up the office walls and sort of try and get an angle in through there.
Yeah, they had
successful in
success
getting
with
the plant
it,
down.
so you know it's likely that they'll try and do the same. Office is actually, I think it's quite difficult to defend. You can get somebody up there and maybe open up a little bit vertically in aquarium to watch that double door, but other than that, it can be quite difficult to defend an office once the attackers get in there, because you're straight onto site, or you've got the small corridor coming through the sun corridor. So quite difficult to challenge your way back in there, if you will. So once they get in there, usually free reign to open up that wall.
Yeah, I think the way that the door works and the fact that it's very open immediately outside, it really plays into the favour of the attackers, because they've got good angles, you know, good tight angles left and right. They've got a lot of room to play with out there, and there's only really one other way in, and that's from sort of server areas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd maybe like to see somebody from Edenity get. It's risk and reward. You could get aggressive and you could get up into billiards, use that double window, and just try and pick a kill up, as you know, whilst they're operating in this space outside of Blue Bar. But it is obviously risk reward as to whether you get picked up on the peak.
Definitely, and with operators such as Dockerby and Glaz, it doesn't take much at this level to get picked off. You know, with relative ease, to be fair.
No, it doesn't. Surprise has to be a large part of it, really. Much like Canadian in the final that we saw against Penta when he got the pick onto them coming through pool. It's just the unexpected. But looks like we're going for an office push again. It's certainly moving. I think they've got a couple moved in there now, and we've got Joystick on Jaeger just challenging. He's just keeping them busy upstairs in Hooker. Gets a good kill onto Mocking, so that's really, really good for Edenity. Jaeger just being effective on the roam, wasting time. We're now down to a minute 40, and we've got one off the board, the book. So that's that vertical play gone.
Yeah, the lack of the vertical play is going to hurt him. I seem to recall in the sort of dying stages of the last round they defended down here that Buck had quite a large part to play in opening up the floor and making players feel uncomfortable down on site. They're going to lose that ability. They've potentially still got it in the thermite, but once he's opened up office, he's probably not going to be able to rotate back upstairs to do anything up there. So we're going to be reliant on Ash, although Ash is going to come to blows here and does manage to pick up the kill onto Karzeka. So that's Vitalin getting the kill onto Karzeka. But Joystick is now going to know where Ash is and put some shots down and
That's
kind of alert to presence, but...
Oh, he does get the kill onto Vitalin. That was a straight-up trade. Shockwave getting this Nitro kill onto Razor, so that leaves us in a 3v2 with Doc and Glaz left, and they are still hassling them from upstairs. So I think we have to say that the upstairs roam here has been extremely effective, not only in wasting time, but picking up the frags as well. So very well played from Joystick and Karzeka. I know Karzeka died a little while ago, but it's still about a minute and a half wasted with that.
Yeah, Joystick there getting traded out by Jackie and Shepard getting in ticks. So we're going to be in a 2 versus 1. Dockerby's probably not the best operator for this. She has got the SMG-12, so she's got that semi-automatic she's got that sort of full automatic ability. But with the primary weapon being the semi-automatic, little bit of a tricky one, and she is lit with diffuser not in hand. Final 5 seconds, smokes come out, boom. Shepard is going to pick the kill up onto Jackie, and that's going to be a defender win.
Excellent round there. Again, another sort of really backwards and forwards, but that upstairs roam game is definitely something that they're going to have to focus on if they want to win at, if they want to attack that location successfully again. Edenity just put in Jaeger and Vigil to great use up there, not only getting a couple of frags, but wasting all the way down to about a minute. And then by the time the attackers could finally push, they were left with Doc and Glaz, and ultimately it came down to Doc with about 30 health and no diffuser to try and do something, and always had an uphill battle at that point.
So moving into the 4th round, we're going to see a Twitch play from Mocking as predicted, and that's going to be used to directly counter the mirror down in Kitchen. Although we didn't see a mirror played last time, so maybe a fortunate coincidence or a bit of insider information, who knows at this stage with these two teams.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. It comes down to that iteration of defence again that we've said. We didn't see a mirror on this location last time, but this time they've decided to bring the mirror along. So it'll be interesting to see where those black mirrors are placed and what advantage they can gain from them. On the attacking side, we've got a Twitch, which might be a good prediction of that mirror. So let's see if they can get in and drop the mirrors, but no Book this time.
No Book, yeah.
So maybe avoiding that vertical play this time. Who knows?
I like to see it opened the way that Shockwaves has done it there, opening up that south kitchen wall onto sort of corridor and courtyard. I think he must be planning on playing a mirror there. It looks like Mockin's tactically placed his Twitch drone there, just trying to maybe get that mirror as soon as it's deployed. Often mirrors will try and wait until the last second to place the black mirror and you know, to avoid a twitch. But clever twitches will always catch you out.
Although now down to the 5 shocks, and drones a lot easier to pick up on PC, so you've just got to keep your eyes out for them. But sometimes in games at this level, there's that much going on around you, it can be very difficult to keep your eye out for an individual drone when he's playing through the smoke of the bomb like this. But Mirror gets the spot there. Did he get the drone?
See, I always think it's interesting when they use the Twitch Elite as well. That is notoriously hard to see.
Yeah, if you get it because of the colour, if you get it among smoke now, smoke, is he going to see the Twitch coming in? He does. Does he? Yeah, he gets it. So that's both of the Twitch drones down, and that's probably going to leave mirrors, black mirrors, intact for the rest of the round.
Definitely, and now the Twitch is looking like maybe a bit of a wasted pick compared to maybe picking a book where you could open up the floor and then leave, any of your attackers to shoot the mirror open. So always a difficult one to try and balance, but Vitalin's going to be pressuring VIP from Hall of Fame door. He's got himself in a bit of a crossfire. It looks like we've got one in Penthouse and one in VIP, but Shockwave picks up a kill onto Razor, so that Shockwave has the mirror player, and Vitalin just managing to find their head on Karzeka, but Joystick is aware of his presence.
It's like Vitalin knows exactly where they both are, and he's just picking one at a time. But Joystick manages to get him, and that leaves Dockerby to challenge Joystick. They're going to come together here, and Jackie gets the kill onto onto Joystick as Bandit. So that leaves upstairs clear, I believe now, and Mocking gets the kill onto Nemia. So that leaves just Smoke and Mirror on site, and now Forze have the free run of the map. They've got 3 versus 2, and it's time for Intic to start using that scope and see if he can just pick up a little pick through onto the mirror or anybody else, and maybe time to start thinking about getting this diffuser down.
Yeah, the diffuser nicely placed just outside kitchen single window, so very accessible for everyone. Looks like we've got Smoke down there, so that's going to be, he's going to be unable to deny anyone. But Shockwave just managed to pick the kill on Twintic, and it does look like he's going to be able to revive Smoke purely because the attackers aren't really in a good position to sort of trade that out, if you will. But Mocking there, coming up behind, picking up Shockwaves. Just as I said, he wasn't in a good position, and he gets the next kill as well. So it turns out that Mocking was in the perfect position to do everything that he needed in that round. And it just...
Yeah, I honestly thought, I was with you, I thought that the play there from Mirror could have been sort of defining for that round. He gets the kill onto Glaz, which is never easy, and then moves through, gets his buddy up. It's 2v2, he's got Smoke back onto 50 health, and I honestly thought from there it could have been difficult for the attackers to turn it around, but Mocking steps up, gets hold of the round by the scruff of the neck, picks up both kills, and does the business.
Yeah, I thought Glaz pushed on his own too early in a 3v2. I thought he would have gone for the trade, but in the end it didn't matter because Mocking was there to pick up the pieces. All is fair in Love and War at 2-2.
Yeah, another excellent game so far. We saw a very close game before this on Oregon. That's Edenity win 1-0. Go 1-0 up, and we are seeing another close game here. So we are looking at a Sunrise and Blue Bar hold again. This will be the final attacking round for Forza before they swap, so they will certainly be looking to win this and go in 3-2 with the advantage on defence. But it seems to be, between these two teams at least, a very balanced map in terms of attacker and defender win rate.
Yeah, going back to some of Netflix's comments in the pre-game, we were expecting Forze to kind of run out the gate and run away with this a little bit. And some rounds they have done, but other rounds it does seem like they've struggled just that little bit. It is their map, so they have brought Coastline to the table, so it would be good to see them exit the attacking phase, 1 round up. But again, I think all the games tonight have gone 3-2. In the first round, if in the first defensive or the first attacking phase, if you will. There's not really been anyone that's ran away with it, maybe aside from the second game of on Oregon of the first matchup. But yeah, we've got Joystick playing upstairs in Hooker again. Last time he got a little bit of trouble off Book from here, but with no Book this time. I think that's been swapped out for the Twitch. Is Twitch going to be able to get the mirrors open? Looks like we got Smoke play very early on, looking to just rob a little bit of health off maybe Vitlin there. But Intit getting a kill on Shockwave and Shepard getting a kill onto Razor.
Very early for this heavy use of smoke. 2 smokes used in the first minute. Vitalin getting the kill onto Karzeka, taking the Vigil off the board. So that's Vigil and Mirror down, leaving us in a 4v3. We've got all 3 smokes used within just over a minute of the round. Shots go in. Jackie finishes off the smoke there. Joystick picking up the kill onto Intic, leaving us at 3-2. We've got Twitch, Dockerby and Ash now looking. The plant going down from Dockerby. There's smoke out and there is nobody to be seen.
Yeah, a little bit tough there. It seems like the anchors have been forced out of sight, and Joystick and Namir have got a really tough job here of getting the round, you know, retaking the site. But as I say that, he does manage to get one down, but gets traded by Mocking. So looks like Dockerby may get picked up.
Namir with it all to do, gets the first kill, 2v1. Does he know that he's actually got... Yeah, so he's now 1v1. And this could be the second 3v1 clutch that we see. Is this a fake from Namir? Or is he looking for the... He's looking for the player. Is he going to get...
Time.
Oh, but he just doesn't get his ADS up. Mocking does exactly what's needed. Covers that diffuser. Excellent finish there from Forze to take them into their defensive phase. 3-2 in the lead. I honestly thought that Edenity might do it there.
Yeah, I really did as well. I think that as soon as Mocking switched to Twitch, it seems like something's changed, and all of a sudden he's doing really well. He's getting frags. I mean, not that he wasn't doing well before, it's, you know, but the last 2 rounds on Twitch just seem to have been a little bit standout for me for him, and he's sitting there with 5 kills and 3 deaths, moving into the moving into Force's defensive streak, if you will. We need to really figure out how we're going to call this. Defensive phase, defensive streak.
Yeah, I think phase is probably...
Yeah.
Streak suggests that they're winning it all, so
yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
Well, there's no one winning everything. It's all pretty equal,
I mean, we haven't
forth.
all night we've seen that. We've probably Oregon on the last match was about the sort of most easily run map by one team, but other than that, yeah, everything's been very close. A great advert for the league here so far tonight. You know, all 4 of these teams putting on a great show.
Is it Raze there opting to open up the floor just in front of VIP? Just in front of VIP wall, sorry?
Yeah, that's quite interesting. If they're going to play somebody in behind bed there, or are they considering playing somebody downstairs to defend it from the plant, is what I would suggest is more likely. Get somebody down into service, so long as you don't get cleared out as the roamer, you can then defend that potential behind bed plant from down there. So it makes it very difficult for them to consider a VIP push, possibly.
No Book again, opting for Zafia, Ying, Ash, Hibana, and Glaz. So I would have liked to think Thermite was on the tip of my tongue because I was thinking about him, as I often do. I'd have really liked to have seen a Thermite there just to open up that VIP wall, but it looks like Shockwaves is going to be playing fairly aggressive onto that double window, just trying to get the slightest off colour, the smallest details.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just looking to see if he can just... I mean, with the glass scope, you know, it's absolutely bright yellow, so it only takes a pixel for somebody to stick an arm or a head out, and you're at least going to take 30 health off him, if nothing else. But Jaeger just playing in there, Vertalin. So, yeah, he is looking potentially for that kitchen rotation from the attackers. He's looking for anybody moving into service rather than playing it from the underneath as a plant deny.
I do think that in sort of ranked play and stuff like that, that at least at the level I'm at, is that the vertical play on coastline is grossly underestimated, and that's something that you do see at this when you get to this sort of a level.
Yeah, great window play that we've just seen there. Oh, Vitalin though, getting very aggressive, taking the Zafir out. Sometimes that's what we like to see, but Joystick manages to get the trade. The Ash there just picking up the kill, so we're now 4v4. But yeah, everybody loves to see aggression like that, getting out the window, getting the kill on Zafir, and that's not easy to do. Picking up those shots as you're falling out of that double window, very, very difficult. So excellent play there. Just a shame for Vitalin that he didn't manage to get back into service entrance and live to fight another day. But it looks like they're aware that they've got a triple push coming from, is that Ash? Yeah, Ash has just hit the mirror, has it?
I think it was a Hibana, but
right, yeah, I think you might
off. But yeah, they seem to be stacking up in Hall of Fame, but it looks like Mocking has managed to pick Shockwave out, so that's going to be the glass off the board. And we're in equal, you know, well, sorry, not an equal. We're in a 4 versus 3. So smokes are going to start coming out now in the last sort of 40 seconds. I think we've seen one previous, but Joystick is pretty lit there on Ash. He's not going to be all too much use at this stage with 30 seconds left on the clock. Naemir with Diffuser in hand.
Yep, Joystick looking like he's just moving up to double window to see if he can pick up any of those rotations. But is he going to get seen from Razor down there? I don't know. He's not really trying to get an angle. Karzeka gets the kill onto Intik, so that brings us to 3v3. As you said, Joystick easily taken out. He was super lit there, and it's getting to be a very late round push. Razor gets the second kill, doing some great work in there as Smoke. Jackie moves in, picks up the final kill onto Karzeka, and that is round for Forze.
So that's really strong for Forze. It's it can be difficult to win, you know, despite the fact that it's their map pick, it can still be very difficult to win your attacks because obviously you don't have a lot of control on attack. You're kind of playing the defense's game. Whenever the defense sets up, to a degree you can play your own game, but you've got to counter it to some degree. But on defense, it just goes to show that they can really, you know, drill home these strategies and fine tune what they're going to do on defense to make it that everyone knows what they're doing. They're very comfortable in what they're doing. They can anticipate attacks and make it very difficult for attackers to, you know, really gain any ground on them. And I think that's what we saw there. It was a very convincing hold that of Penthouse and Via and Theatre.
Yeah, Razor putting up some real players in that little area in front of the mirror, and like you said, that's probably something that's been well practiced. That's an area he's going to be commonly in. He's going to be familiar with the angles from there, and then it's all about him just, you know, performing and picking up the kills as people move in. But yeah, as you're right, attack is all about, you know, adaptation and just dealing with what's in front of you. You know, as the season goes on, that's where your VODs and things come in. You know, you can study your teams, you can learn what they normally do on defense, but that's not the stage that we're at the minute. So, you know, at this point, it really is just about reacting to what you find in front of you.
And that's what makes it so exciting. It's quite raw. And I don't mean that in sort of like a derogatory way that, like, you know, these teams are going in blind. Obviously, they've done the homework. They've obviously all played in the qualifiers and done very well to get this far. But like I said, it is very reactive at the minute, and there's not a whole season's worth of information to go and, you know, go at. Obviously, if the teams have played in other leagues or they've played elsewhere, they may have something, you know, there may be little shreds to go at, but you know, there's not a full library of, you know, VODs to go through or anything to really grasp onto. So, you know, really going off gut and reaction and Mocking there, picking up a kill onto Joysticks. That's going to be Ash off the board. That was the mirror there picking up that kill.
Yeah, again, doing some good anchor work there, looking for a second, but Shepard and Naemir moving in quickly, getting Mocking and Vitalin off the board. Shockwave getting a third onto Razor, so that turns around really quickly from 5v4 to 4v2 in favour of Edenity. The Nitro going up from beneath, but cannot get the kill from Mute there, and Intik on Legion looks like he has been stunned by Zafia. The Candelas are coming in, the utility is raining in now, and they're going to try and get a plant down at that single door, I'd imagine. Karzeka moves in as Hibana to get that Roma from downstairs. Intik is gone and gets the second kill onto Jackie to finish out the round for Identity. Very, very strong play from Karzeka on the Hibana towards the end of the round there. Excellent play from Identity. Very quick, very aggressive.
Yeah, Identity just grabbing life by the horns there and really going for it in stark contrast to what we've seen. I think at the start of this matchup, we saw Forze being very aggressive, pushing very hard, but Edenity there, I think that was all over inside sort of 1 minute 10, 1 minute 15. It was all over. So really just bringing the pace to Forze, and maybe that's what they're feeling. Maybe they feel like they're giving Forze a little bit too much time to do some, you know, late setups. They're running mirrors, they're running mutes, they're running, you know, Jaegers and Legions. These are guys that, you know, the setup can last longer than 45 seconds, especially with all the rotations, you know, any murder holes, any lines of sight they're trying to open up. And it looks like the Edenity maybe just taking full advantage of that and kind of caught them a little bit off guard.
Yeah, for sure. We're in Penthouse again, so we're seeing, I think, a very similar, if not the identical setup to that which we did last time. So it'll be interesting to see if Forze can make use of those same angles again, or how Edenity is going to change up that attack. Now, we're seeing a Blackbeard this time, so I'd like to see if they have Claymores. We've got Hibana and Yingas for definite that can bring Claymores. So if they have brought those with them and can get them down on the doors, Lamborghini door and service door, and just protect that Blackbeard on double window through the stage of sort of 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes of the round, it can be a deadly position to have a Blackbeard sitting, and it looks like that's where he's heading.
Wasting no time heading there straight away, but Vitlin ready as ever to do
He
something
might just
about
be
it.
going on that jump out again. He's already done it once. Will we see it from him again? It all depends whether the Blackbeard gets up and gets him, which he does. Shockwave getting that first kill. So that's exactly what I was saying there. Get the Blackbeard up on that double window. He can probably stay there unchallenged for the majority of the round now. And as soon as anybody moves into his line of sight, he just starts taking pot shots at them. And it makes it very difficult to operate, especially in Penthouse, but on this, on this site as a whole.
Yeah, I think that the little bait drone there really played into Shockwave's favour. I think Vitlin maybe thought that it was his drone that he was throwing in, or maybe it was and he just managed to get out of it really quickly, I don't know, but Vitlin there trying to get the advantage onto Shockwave. But Shockwave coming out on top, looks like he's still got his shield largely intact, although he probably will swap it for a fresh one. So, 1 minute 44 into the round now, and what have we got? We've got a 4-on-5.
And this is the other thing that Blackbeard can do on that window.
It's taken a lot of time, hasn't it?
It has taken a lot of time, but with Blackbeard in relative safety, he can drone for the others as long as his drone survives. They've got the Hibanas onto the mirror this time. That's going to be a big difference to last round when that Hibana shot missed. So let's see how that impacts on their ability to hold this site from the Hall of Fame push this time. Blackbeard's going to be trying to get a view in through that single door, I'm sure, although it is a very, very tight angle. He's going to need some movement probably to pick people. But again, he can just drone for the others, feed back the information as to where they are. Mocking holding a very tight angle there. He takes the shots, but the smoke's coming in to help him just hold off that Hall of Fame push.
Again, Identity stacking up in Hall of Fame.
It looks like, are they wanting to get that wall open? Yeah, he's looking to get the mute out there. I don't know how much. If they've got 2 Hibanas left, they could definitely make a hole big enough. Karzeka looking to get into VIP, possibly to do that. Having Ash, I presume, having now taken those mute jammers off the wall.
So Ash playing a really good vertical game there and just going to show how powerful it can be once you get control of Lamborghini door. But joystick there, just as I was talking about, it manages to pick up a kill onto Jackie. So that is going to be mute off the table. Although into there with the long range kill onto Ash, Shockwave picking up Raisin from the window. Yeah,
definitely worth commenting on that Ash play from joystick there. He gets the downstairs, moves through, gets the kill as well coming up the stairs. Did everything he needed to for his team, but things just falling apart a little bit for the attackers. But we now find ourselves in a 2v1 situation. Hibana and Blackbeard versus the Legion, and Intik doing everything he can here. Is he going to bring it to a 1v1? He's done exactly what he needs to, but Karzeka manages to get the headshot, gets the flick, and finishes the round for Edenity.
Crazy that the Blackbeard would survive for so long on the window.
I think Vitalin...
He made the round.
We saw that, yeah, it did, and last time, but he managed to pick him up early. I don't know if they did actually Claymore off the doors or not, or whether there was just a presumption that they'd Claymore off the doors, but there was certainly no run-outs there to challenge him, and that left him to largely control that penthouse space. When the Hibana opened up the mirror, it was always going to be a tall order, but yeah, very, very well done from Edenity.
I think looking back on that round would be very interesting, but just running it through my head right now, I remember Vitlin getting taken out very early, so that was, I believe he was playing Jaeger that time, so that was Jaeger off the board. But Blackbeard there burning the ADSs was crucial, because last time I think that the Hibana pellets got caught in the ADS, and that's what stopped the mirror being able to be blown open. But obviously, just in that last round, it changed the game being able to open the mirror, and it puts, you know, mirror in a very unfortunate position in theatre, and makes life very difficult. And obviously the rotate being very long, three armor problems. So I think we may just see rinse and repeat from from Edenity, and you know, they may do try and emulate the same.
Now the holes that Razor's blowing in the floor there, that will give you from penthouse down to service entrance and bathroom area, but very difficult to use if once again there's going to be a Blackbeard on that window. It means you can't really operate anywhere inside of penthouse. So it's going to be interesting to see what they actually end up used for. It might be that they come underneath and see if they can get a view up onto double window. But again, that's then going to be down to Edenity to start clearing those roamers out on the bottom floor.
Vitalin there on the deep roamers bandit. Looks like he's way downstairs. Maybe trying to play for that Blackbeard on the double window. I think that if Forze are going to be successful in this round, they really need to deal with that. Although it does look like it may have been Claymore there. I didn't quite get a chance to see, but Karzeka are already in VIP, which is pretty bold.
That's very quick movement, and to be honest, we've seen some success with aggression so far. You can see we've got 4 of the defenders holding around theatre there, so very close to site, and it is affording the attackers a lot of freedom to do what they want to do. Ash underneath again. They are definitely looking to open up the VIP wall this time, I think. Ash clearing the mutes off with Karzeka already in there as the Hibana, ready to get the pellets onto the wall and get it opened up. Now, the diffuser is with Zafir. It'd be interesting to see. I'm not sure where Zafir is moving in, but right now we've got Bandit challenging, mocking, getting the kill onto Karzeka, so that's Hibana down. So it would be interesting to see upstairs and see if they manage to get VIP wall open or not. Vitaline just backing out of that fight as Bandit, having taken quite a few hit points off Joystick on the Ash there. And VIP wall still intact, so it would appear it's going to be another Hall of Fame push.
Hall of Fame push not working too well last time for Edenity. So seeing some smokes come out early from Razor, and he's not afraid to use his smoke, and I quite like that. I think there's big sort of maybe a bit of a stigma around using your smokes too early, but he really isn't afraid to get them out and use them when needed. It's not really caused him too much harm so far. It just keeps him pinned in Hall of Fame and wastes a lot of time. Joystick picking up a kill onto Jack, and then Intic picking up the kill onto Joystick. So Joystick getting traded straight out. That's Ash off the board. 4-on-3 now in favour of defence.
It's worth noting at that point, though, that Joystick was very low HP, so to be honest, getting taken out in a trade where he's got a kill, not the end of the world. Intic getting the kill onto Shockwave, and Nemia moving in now for the plant, so Ying is in there with a plant. Shepard just on the cover, killing Mocking as the mirror, and now it's just a case of watching that plant, and they have got Blackbeard is off the window, but they're just going to put somebody else up there. I think it's Nemia that's going to go up there just to cover from the window, and Shepard gets another kill onto Intic, bringing us to 2v2. Vitalin watching that angle there, gets the kill onto Shepard. Shepard gets the kill onto Razor. So we are in a 1v1 situation, and we are running swiftly out of time. Nemia just out of the way, waiting for those hits to come in. He can hear it. He puts the shots in. He was trying to fake him. He gets the kill, but it's going to be too late. He's not going to manage to get back up. It was a bold move from Vitalin. He knew that he had no other option, but he is just too far from the diffuser to get back up there. That's the second time we've seen him use that jump out and get the kill. So very good play as a, an individual play, but unfortunately not what his team needed at that point.
Really unfortunate from Vitalin. I think I'm not sure if you make that rotation. You must be able to make that rotation if you've got full diffuser time left. But I think in that position, there's not a lot he can do. As soon as he starts hitting, and Ying gets that audio cue that the bomb is being diffused, then pretty much game over. But good try nonetheless. So this is going to move us into match point.
And very interestingly, Forze going for Penthouse Theatre again. Now, if you remember what I said, sometimes you've just got to say that, this ain't working for us and stop banging your head against the wall. And they've switched it up. There you go. Thank you, Forze, for listening to me. Although I know you're not. It's just, why make the point? No, very, very good decision.
Caster's curse again.
Caster's curse again. Very good decision from Forze there to change that up. You can't go back to a site that you've just lost 2 on the bounce when you're facing match point against a team like Edenity. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to hit you hard, and it would have been very, very difficult to win there, I think. So, good decision from Forze just to change it up, go to hooker billiards. I'm not sure we've actually seen that defense from Forze yet. I think it's mostly been Penthouse Theatre with, was it a blue bar thrown in?
Yeah.
So interesting to see what they do with hooker.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Shockwave there going for a little bit of a hike with the old Twitch drone, just ensuring it's kept alive so that it can be made full use of. So we're seeing quite a bit of reinforcement. Another castle coming out. Love to see castle played on this objective, especially. It just really removes a lot of options. But Zafir is going to remove it straight away.
I think that's one of the big criticisms of castle. You know, there's a good few operators that could just remove them at range. You know, I don't know if they could use a little buff maybe, but they are very effective at this level of play. Razor getting the early kill onto Joystick, so that takes Ash off the board, which goes against what I was saying. Maybe that removes some of the utility to remove those castles. Nami are evening things up with a headshot onto Mocking, taking the mirror off the board, so that's going to be one of the anchors down. And I think if they can move through, clear a couple of roamers, they might just be in a good position for taking the round. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, we saw a Candela there used within the 20 seconds, which is pretty speedy. Vitlin there playing downstairs in courtyard, just sort of hanging around, figuring out where he's going to rotate from. The diffuser's outside now, just near offices. So it looks like Shockwave is now going to try and get some mirrors open, which he manages to do as Mirror is dead. Obviously, Mirror is not the only one that can shoot a shock drone, but usually the one that looks out for him.
Absolutely, yeah, she's the one that's scared of him for sure. So we're seeing a little bit of utility back in sight there. No major push onto site yet. Karzeka getting the kill onto Intix, so that leaves us 4v3 in favour of Edenity. They need this round to finish out the match, so we've got Jackie down as well. So we are now effectively in a 4v2 situation, unless Vitalin can move to pick Jackie up, but that is going to be a huge risk, I would guess. He's more likely to use him as bait and try and get a kill as they go to finish him off.
Yin getting the diffuser down there, just the other side of the reinforced wall, but Razor and Shockwave coming real close. Couldn't see each other for the smoke. All ends pretty quickly there.
Very, very quick finish from Identity. Sorry, Identity, the diffuser was down, and we just got 3 kills coming all at once. One of those, Jackie was down. They move in, clinical, and get it finished. Edenity, very, very good in 2 tough matches there, 2 tough maps. They've taken them both 6-4, and they've shown some real fortitude to keep going. They've not let the mental game get to them, and I'm impressed with the Edenity there. Very, very good.
Yeah, really tough going. Some standout performances there from Vitlin and Mocking there. 21 kills between them, but, you know, just not enough to get it on the day. So yeah, really exciting 2 matches there. I'm pretty pumped after that.
I'm looking forward to watching both of those teams again for sure. I think Forze, you know, absolutely can hold their heads up high there. You know, both teams, in fact, every phase of that was going, you know, 3-2, you know, 4-1, very, very close. It was always backwards and forwards. No team just running away with it. Both obviously teams with a good pedigree there, and I think we're going to see some really big plays from them in the future.
Without a doubt. Just nice to see that there wasn't many, or if any, situations where it was like 4 versus 2 and it ended up 4 versus no one. You know what I mean? The defenders in the dying stages really always managed to trade out and get some kills back, and it was never like a standout or, okay, Identity's got all the men left and they managed to kill everyone. It was never like that. They managed to keep trading blows and the defenders fighting until the last man, really. So really good effort from Forze. You know,
absolutely. GG's all round.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for the great casting today. Both matches pretty one-sided in the end if you're looking at the score, but definitely really, really close matches in both of the matchups and close rounds. Nice clutches and strong individual plays from all of the teams, actually. So this is it. This is the conclusion of the first ever EU Playday of CCS Season 3. I was joined by Troika and Ace of Pirate, the 2 casters of tonight. We had Maddox as a wonderful observer. And of course, my name is Netflix. I was the host for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thanks for the attention you were giving us. And we will see you on Wednesday for Playday number 2 in EU. Take care and see ya.